Subscribe
video,
now
we are going to
and
learn
press the bell
Reactive
icon.
Forms in Angular.
Never miss an update.
I have already created an Angular project. This is the blank one, and in app.component.html I have just written h1. This is an Angular page. Now first of all I will run this project. So we will write the command ngserve -o, that is for open, -port 1234. 1234 is my port number. So basically in this video we are going to learn how to create a reactive form in Angular. So till the compilation is complete, we will do some changes in the style.scss. So I will write some CSS here. So display flex, justify content center, and align content center, and right. Background we will define later. Let it run. And what we are going to do basically we are going to create a component in our project structure, and we will create a reactive form there. In the later video we will see how to do dynamic validations of reactive form in Angular, and also we will check how to set up the validations dynamically and create the elements dynamically in Angular reactive forms. So now let me open this and let's check. This will take some time for the compilation. Till then we will create our component. So let me write ngg c. ngg, G is for generate and C is for component, and inside components folder I will create a reactive form, or I can simply write react form. Okay, now press enter, and in our browser as you can see we have our h1 tag, that this is Angular page. Okay, now once this component is created we will do other things that is required. So as you can see the project is on our port, that is 1234. So it's running on our port 1234, and our component is also created now. So let me add this component, but before that we will do a routing of that first. So I'll simply create a path, that is on path blank I want component to render as react form component. So this is automatically imported here. So on the blank page, and instead of this h1 I will simply write router dash outlet. So now if I save the changes and the browser will refresh, so you can see react form works, which means our react form component is loaded here. Now we will create the form first here. So let me name it as wrapper. Inside this wrapper we will create a form, and let the class be, I can write a class as form block, and inside this we will write some input type of text. Let placeholder be first name and class be inp, that is for input only, and let me copy paste this. So we will do it for last name, email, contact. So last name, email, or I can write simply an example of email @abc.com as a placeholder, and contact, so I can write phone. Okay, and we will also add some more thing, that is gender block. So I'll simply write gender block, and here we will be having a select, and inside that we will be having options. Okay, so for this select we will be needing two values, that is male and female, and one default one. So first we will write the default one, select gender, and in react form.component.ts we will create an array first. That name should be genders of type any, and it should be an array, and let's add the elements of our array, male and female. Okay, now let's go to our react form.component.html and create one more option here, option, and let's write ng for directive here, and we will replace this list with genders, and the value it will be having, should be taking is, so it should be item, and it should display as item. If you are not sure what is ng for directive, you can check our Angular playlist. There you will get a full confirmation of what this ng for directive does. And now lastly we will create one button. This button should be named as submit. Let's check what we can see on the browser. As you can see, we have first name, last name, phone, gender, and submit. I'll just missed one thing. We will need one more thing, that is label. So I'll write label as gender, all in caps. So now we will be able to see gender here also as a label. Now I'll simply quickly do the CSS part of this. So let's go to react.component.css. So inside wrapper we have form block, and inside that we have INPs. Also we have gender block. Inside gender block we have select, and then we have options. Okay, so this is what I think. Oh, I just missed the label one also. So inside gender block we have label one also. So let me do the, oh, I need to add this button also. So the button is after the gender block. So after gender block we need a button. Okay, so first I'll design the button with padding 10 pixel, 15 pixel, font size 18 pixel, and font family as sans serif, and font weight as 600, color should be white, and then background as sky blue, and outline none, and then border as none. Okay, now let's design our form block. Before that I'll simply design my input with padding 10 pixel and 15 pixel, I can simply copy paste this 3 lines here or 4 lines from here, and the same we can do with our labels also. Just need to check one thing, that the color should be white here, because what I'm going to do is make our background as black one. So if you can see the changes here, yeah, this is how it looked like. Let's do some more changes here. So we want the form to be displayed as flex direction as column, and also justify content center, and align item as center, and padding as 2 em, border as 1 pixel solid black, and background as RGBA, color as gray, and alpha as, that is the opacity as 0.3, I guess, yeah, and box shadow as 0 pixel, 0 pixel, 10 pixel, oh sorry, and 2 pixel gray, comma, insert 0 pixel, 0 pixel, 5 pixel, 2 pixel, black. If I see the changes, if you can see the changes, now this is how our this look likes. Let me do one more thing, and display flex, justify content center, oh sorry, I want it to be space between, and then let's add padding as same that we have added everywhere, 10-15 pixel, width as 60%. So you can see now why this is taking some space. Let me check. I'll simply inspect here. So this div is taking some small space. Why is that so? With 100%. Okay, and label should be white space. Okay, one more thing that I need to do here, align item center and white space, no wrap, and margin bottom as 10 pixel. Okay, I'll simply copy paste this, and let me paste it inside our gender block. Let's save the changes and see what's happening here. Okay, I just forgot to add one more thing, that is margin bottom to 10 pixel. Maybe you can see the changes. So I guess this looks good. Just one more thing that I am not happy with this button. So let it take our width as 100%. So I guess this looks good. Okay, the male female is coming, and the submit button, we need one more thing, cursor as pointer. Now we will create one more button, like we'll just add some more thing for disabled one. If the button is in disabled mode, then what we need, background as gray and cursor as not allowed. Okay, So whenever the button will be disabled, it will be coming as not allowed. That cursor will not allow the button to be clicked. So this is the basic structure that we have created. Now in order to add the reactive forms, we just don't need to add do anything here right now. We are done with the designing part. Let's go to app.module.ts, and inside this module we need to add some modules. So first will be reactive forms module, and then forms module. So these two modules I have imported here. As you can see, they have already been added here at the topmost. So now we can use the react form and create a react form here. So we will be needing one private fp, that is object for that, and that should be form builder. As you can see, the form builder has been added here. One more thing, we will need some form group. So form data, as I'll assign it as form group. Okay, also first of all, let me assign something to this form. So form group, form group, it should be named as like this. So let me add the control here. Inside this constructor, we will write this dot form data equals to this dot fb, that is form builder dot group. So we will create a group for that. Inside we will write first name as blank comma validators dot required, as we need our validator here. Now last name as comma validators dot required. Then what do we have? Email as null comma validators dot compose, and inside compose we will write validators dot email comma validators dot required, because we want to validate the email that has been entered. Also we need this field as the required one. Also we will write phone as comma validators dot compose. We will compose it like this: validators dot required comma validators dot min length as 9 and validators dot max length as 10. So this is how we can validate a phone. Now we need one more thing as gender as, and simply it should be validators dot required. So now our form group is ready and our form block is ready. We will create one function here inside button. So I'll write the click event here. Submit data. Inside the submit data function we will pass form data dot value. Also we will check if the button is, we will make that button disabled when the form is invalid. So to check that we will write form data dot invalid. So when the form is invalid, when the form data is invalid, it will be disabled here. Now let me add this function here, submit form data, and it will be taking some data of type any, and let's simply console.log data, and let's go to the HTML. Data does not exist because I have misspelled this. So now let me check if the disabled is valid. So we will write if we check if the thing is valid. So now as nothing is there in our form, which means the form is sorry, I simply pasted invalid. So if nothing is here, which means the form is invalid. So let's add some value to make it valid. So let's write ns, then code NSCODE @gmail.com. Let me add some phone number, a random phone number. Let me select some gender. How much phone number? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Oh, I just added one more, and let's check. So the submit value is not getting updated. So in order to check if it is working fine or not, so here as you can see, form data dot invalid, it is true. Once it is false, this means disabled should be removed. So I'll simply write here. So form data not invalid, we will check invalid. Okay, now let's check what value comes here. So initially it is true, which means the form is invalid. So we will write ns, then code, then shaha@gmail.com, and email. As you can see, the form is not still invalid. Let me check why it is happening. So we have added gender, we have this is happening because we have not added the form control here. So let me add this, the form control name as first name. Let me simply copy paste this. Also inside select we need a form control name, that is gender. Then for phone, then for email, then for last name. Now this is good, I guess. Now if I try to write some value as ns@gmail.com, and let me add some value 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and let me select some value. Yeah, so now our button is getting active. So let me remove this. Let's save the changes, and we will keep the console open here. Let me clear this console. let me try to add one more value. So code NSCODE@gmail.com and 787 and mail. As you can see, it is getting updated. So now if I click on submit, we should be getting the value. So as you can see, we have the value, as we have console.log as email as this, first name as this, gender as female, last name as code, and phone as this. So this is how we can create a reactive form in Angular. In the later video, in the next video, we will see how can we do dynamic form validation as well as dynamic form creation.